Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me for a new episode of Crafting with Class. Yesterday I received this beautiful bouquet of flowers and it happened to come from the wonderful staff at PetSmart for the sympathy of my sweet girl Madrid. So I thought I would create this thank you card to match the beautiful bouquet using the Anna Griffin basket easel card dies. And spoiler alert, it is the absolute easiest card to put together. So here is what you get. So you get the basket and all the embellishments, and of course you get an inspiration sheet so you can have some ideas about decorating. So let's get started. So I die cut the basket out of white cardstock, and this is when you definitely want to run your embossing over because the details are fantastic. So I die cut the layers. I cut 2 of the bows and then the card base. And with this, all you need to do is a couple of folds and add adhesive to the tab, and that's it. So nothing difficult at all about this one. So if you kind of want to get your feet wet on interactive cards, I would definitely recommend something like this because it is super easy. All right, so I'm going to add some foam dots to the back of the basket, and I'm going to go ahead and pop it on top of the base. And this is the shadow layer, actually, not the base. And then there is this little element here. It's kind of like a lace little design. It's super cute. So I'm adding that with even more foam tape. And then I cut out just that middle part so that it wouldn't be white behind the flowers. But you know, you're going to put so many flowers, you're not going to be able to see it anyway. But I went ahead and added that on there. So now comes the hard part. As with any Anna card, you're going to add those beautiful flowers, and arranging them for me is absolutely the hardest part. So I'm tucking them into the basket. These are all Anna stickers, and so I'm removing the backing on them, kind of placing them, seeing where I want them to go, and arranging them onto the bouquet or onto the basket. So I'm using a combination of different flowers from her Roses and Hydrangea kit and some of her favorite flowers. I don't remember which one. But that Roses and Hydrangeas is my absolute favorite, next to the china cabinet too. So I'm just kind of moving them around. As you can see, as I mentioned, this is like the hardest part for me. And so feel free to skip all this because I'm figuring out where I want to put things. And so you will not hurt my feelings whatsoever if you want to fast forward to the point where I kind of have it figured out. So again, this particular die set is super easy. So now that I've kind of arranged all the flowers, I want to remove the sticky from the backs of these stickers. So I'm using my anti-static powder tool and I'm rubbing the powder on top, and that removes the adhesive. So now that part is not sticky. And so I die cut the bow twice so that I can do kind of a drop shadow, and I am fluffing up the little bows, the little bow part, and I'm going to attach it to the right side. I felt that was a little bit empty, so I thought it would fit there. So I put it on with another foam adhesive. So now it's time to put the card on the base, and all you need to do is line up the basket on top of the base, and that's it. You just need to pop it up just like that, and then since this will need a stopper at the bottom so it can stand on its own, we will add that in a moment. I decided I wanted to add a little pearl to that center bow and kind of fluff up those little ends. And it's time to add that stopper to the bottom. So I die cut this die. Thanks. This is from MFT set, and I die cut it I think about 5 times, and so I stacked them together. And then the sentiment, I am beyond grateful for you, is also from the same set from MFT. And I added the some foam adhesive to that, and this is a much lower profile, so it does pop off the page a little bit, but not as much as the thanks. So I will stick that underneath the thanks die cut, and then I will add a couple more embellishments to the little banner, and then afterwards I went ahead and used the shadow die for the basket, and I cut a little piece at the bottom so that I could write my sentiment. You can also write your sentiment on the back. You have plenty of room. So there it is. And so I wanted to add this one flower kind of to the sentiment, but I kind of wanted it behind the die cut, so I pulled it up carefully just to see if I did want it there, and I actually did. So I pulled it up carefully, and then I positioned it where I wanted it, and then I carefully peeled back the sticker liner from the back so I wouldn't have to try to take it all out again. And so that worked out okay. And then I pressed that sticker into place. And so there it is. This is the finished card, and so that thanks die cut works as the stopper. And it is lovely, I think, in my opinion. So I'm adding just a couple of little pearls on either side of the sentiment banner, just to further embellish it a little bit more. And I think this card came out lovely, and it was super, super, super easy to put together. And then you see the back and how that looks. And yeah, here's the finished card. And one thing to note, I wasn't paying attention to how high I built the flowers, so it didn't fit in a 5x7 envelope. I did have to make my own envelope with the envelope maker from We Are Memory Keepers, but it was okay. So just keep that in mind to make sure you kind of keep the dimensions of a 5x7 envelope. And here is the arrangement, so I think I came pretty close, right? Well, thank you so much for watching today, and I appreciate you stopping by. I will see you in the next video. Until next time, bye!